Hello Silver Wolves, it's Blackie and welcome back to the channel. Well, we are less than 4 weeks out now and I've only got, I don't even know if I've got maybe one slot left. I really don't know. I went and checked it before I left going to West Virginia. I went to the gather thing up there and I'm back now, and so I've got to check it, but I'm making it this morning. But I believe that we might have a slot left, and that's it. And it's going to be a full class for the Silver Wolves. If you've already got the PayPal information, but you've been holding on to it, waiting for such and such, if you pay, keep an eye on it because it may bounce back because I'm already full classed. So if you've been hanging on or whatever, and the end of this week or whatever, you send the money. Give me about 24 to 48 hours to find it because I'm not checking it every 5 minutes. I don't have it on my phone. We're old Silver Wolves. I don't walk around with everything on my phone. I've got it on my home computer, but I check it every night. I try to. But if I get there and someone is paid and we're already full up, I will refund your money. But check on it. I don't want you to drive all the way over here thinking, well, I paid, and you get there and find out that I refunded you. So please, 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 at this point, guys, between now and then, watch it. If you send the money, watch it, see if it bounces back, and they'll let you know. And as soon as I have we're full class, I will do a video to tell you we're sold out, and all of my instructors will do one telling everybody we're sold out. So that's what's coming. But we're right there on that knife edge, guys. So just hang in there. Now, today, we're going to do a little tip or trick that lets you look like a wizard in the field. This is going to be something that you can impress the grandkids with. It's going to be your ability to navigate with just a stick. Old granddaddy, old grandmother can tell which way directions are just by the top of his old stick. You ain't got to tell them the whole story. You just give them a compass and tell them, ask me what's the direction. And they'll go, okay, which way's west? And you'll say, okay, let me do my little incantation. And you'll come over here and you do your mumbo jumbo, make a show of it, Step out in the sun or something and do your turning arounds and everything, and take your stick and walk around your stick a minute, and you're going to go, that way's west. And then they're going to try to trip you up. Well, let me show you how to do this trick. Okay? Now the first thing you need to know is what time it is. So, what you're going to do is just find out what the time is. Like right now it's 3:27. If it's, what we're interested in is the hours. Okay? So if it's 10 minutes to 2, you'll just round it up to 2. If it's, like right now, 3:27, we're going to say 3:30. So it's hours and half hours, the only thing you got to understand. Okay? The other thing is on the top of your stick, we're going to make a little cheat mark. But for right now, to show you how to do this, what I've done, I've put a piece of tape up there. And I marked the clock face on it where 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a clock face, just like we were taught in school. And all us old Silver Wolves know how to read a clock. Some of these youngins don't unless it's got digital numbers, but we know how to read an old clock face. Okay? Now, what you're going to do is, this was a technique that's been taught since at least the early 1900s, because I know for a fact I found it in books from the 1920s, and the Boy Scouts taught this technique all through World War II up till the 1970s. It was how to turn a watch into a compass just by understanding this simple thing. And that simple thing is, if you know what time it is, you're going to point the hour hand toward the sun, and half the distance from that hour hand to the 12 o'clock is due south. Okay, so let me show you that right quick. I'm going to pick up a piece of pine straw off here. And even though it's heavy overcast right now, let me adjust the camera and I'll show you. Okay, here's my clock. Now, I know right now is 3:30. Okay? All I'm going to do is halfway between 3 and 4. I'm going to put that piece of pine straw up there like that, and I'm going to angle it. And I know you can barely see it from where you're at, but the shadow is going to do. Let me move the camera over here where we can see a little bit better. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Since I know what time it is, and I know when I hold that up there, if you'll look, there's a real faint shadow, see? In broad daylight, you'd be a big mark. But there's a shadow, and I want that shadow to be going. So I know that the time is, it's between 3 and 4, okay? So I'm going to put that little indicator right there, and I'm going to angle it a little bit, and I'm going to make it so the sun's shadow, and I can faintly see that shadow right there. That shadow is crossing that center point. Okay? Half the distance from what I've just done to the number 12, that's due south that way. So this would be due south. So right now I'm standing and I've got this orientated. That's south. So my grandson says, which way is west? Well, since I'm now facing south, that's south, I can turn around here and I can go, okay, then that's north, this has got to be west. Well, it's that way, see? All it is I use something to make a shadow go across that middle. That's a clock, okay? So if I say, all right, it's 3 o'clock, and I put that on the 3 o'clock, and I just turn this around until that shadow goes right across the center, I'm now lined up. And half the distance between the 12 o'clock and the hour hand, no matter what hour it is due south. So let's say it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I'll put my little indicator on the 9 o'clock position, and I'll turn till that shadow goes right across. Once I do that, say it's on my 9. It's on the 9. That shadow would go all the way across. Half the distance between 9 and 12 right there, that would be due south. So I can use this like a compass, see? And I can impress the grandkids by old granddaddy or grandmother. She can tell direction just by the forest, see? Pine straw will tell you how to go and navigate. But you ain't got to have a clock, do you? Because we grew up with clocks, and not every clock had numbers on it, remember? It was just had little slots or dots or whatever. And we learned in our head to be able to tell the time on a clock without that clock face. All we need to know is where 12 o'clock is. So I put a mark with a magic marker right there. That's 12 o'clock. So if that's 12, then that's 3, that's 6, that's 9, right? Because we know how to read a clock. So what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. I'll put that piece of pine straw at 4 o'clock. I'll turn toward the sun and do it so that shadow goes all the way across the middle. Set it down, and half the distance from 4 to 12 is due south. And I can use that like a compass, see? And you can impress them grandkids. You can teach them how to use a compass this way. Here, you're going to tote the compass. And you give them a little toy compass. Just something that's going to point in general direction, you know. Don't give them a real expensive one, but you know what I mean. And y'all can go out for your walk, and you can say, okay, you've got the compass. Let me see if I can guess that big tree right yonder, what direction that is from where we're standing. Okay? So you say, all right, I get my stick, pick up a piece of straw, or I take something, you know. And I've already kind of checked what time is it? You know, it's about time. How I do it is I'd go, you know, I'd hold up. It's 3 o'clock. It's time for us to do another compass challenge, ain't it? A direction challenge. You see that tree right yonder? Yeah. I bet you I can tell you what direction that is without looking at that compass you got. Here's how we're going to do it. I've already said it's 3 o'clock. because I checked my watch. I put my little piece of pine straw up there where 3 o'clock would be, turn it so that the shadow goes all the way across. Half would be, and then I know where south is. So, well, if that's south, then I can just turn that little mark around to tell me exactly where south is. Alright, that's south. Now I can walk around this stick and look at that tree and go, yep, that is northeast. Check your compass. Stand right here, look where I'm looking, hold it up. How close am I? And they'll be amazed and telling stories about how their granddaddy didn't need a compass. He could just magically know direction. You can have a lot of fun with this. And all it's going to take is some flat top on a walking stick, a single mark, and some little piece of straw or something to act like a shadow stick. That's it. That's one of them tricks that makes Grandpa and Grandma a legend. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you've got any questions, please put them down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the coming Silver Wolves. It's going to be a fun event. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.